Welcome to Everyday Life. Thank you for joining our podcast, Conversations Over Coffee. My name is Jen.
And I'm Dagda.
And we're going to hit you with the explicit content warning right off the bat. This podcast does include adult situations and adult language from time to time.
I'm an angel. I never fucking cuss.
Okay. Anyways, you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go. Don't like listen to drunk midgets fight.
You remember how it likes to add stuff at the end rather than where you fucking told it to put stuff? That's what's going on right now.
Okay, so it's going to record at the end and you're going to have to move it.
Yep.
That's fine, you know.
Indeed.
Oh, are we recording now? Okay, well, I guess we are recording. Since we're recording, I want to let you guys know, full transparency, this episode was recorded prior to us finalizing our introductory episode. Because I didn't think it was right to do the introductory episode without my bestie. And just because of who he is, I thought he should be included. So now you know why we're talking about an introductory episode. You're not going to hear.
We're Dagda inclusive.
Yes, we're Dagda inclusive in this one. Who, he's kind of okay.
I'm awesome, you know it.
All right, okay, we're going to get ready to go. Enjoy the show.
Allegedly.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's me, it's Jen, or Jalen if you prefer. And of course, for this session, we're now including Dagda.
Hey, now.
So a really interesting thing, I previously talked about what really prompted me to want to do the podcast. So what's kind of your take on things?
What do you mean?
Well, we had the experience working at the shop where we had a lot of people who were like, oh, I'm just coming in to listen to you two bicker and banter because this is great. This is fantastic. You guys should have a show about this. And then, of course, you were there the day I had the experience with Miss Peggy with the song and the dance and everything.
Yes.
And all of that. So when I approached you about this, after we've been receiving so many comments for years now about we should be doing, like, between the shop and then, of course, at the coffee shop, oh, you guys should have a show, you should be doing a podcast. So you've had those same things that you've heard. Obviously, you've been there for part of it. And when I started to think more seriously about it several months ago and talk to you more about it, what has been your thought process on it?
Not much. Just like, okay, whatever.
So it's kind of just been one of those things like, okay, this is something to do, something to try to pursue. And
yeah,
you're a man of few words most of the time.
Indeed.
Right. Such a dick. Well, one of the things that I think for me that has made starting this easier, even though I'm constantly nervous, is that I get to do this with my best friend. Now, I will give a big disclaimer to everybody that although to me you're the best friend, you have many people who are very close to you. So I think you only have one best friend, and I think that's you. And
of course.
And then you let the rest of us just kind of come underneath your umbrella.
Yes, you may orbit in my vicinity.
Oh, my God. Motherfucker, you're going to make me cuss a lot. Oh, no. All right. Oh, no, being your authentic self. Which is really funny because, so we did the intro the other day. We worked on it. And we had to add the disclaimer about language because, we want to make sure people are aware that I'm not a nun and you're not a priest. And we do have foul language. And then you started listening to some of our test recordings and you started laughing and you were like, you realize you cuss a lot more than you think you do.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad we rolled that disclaimer in, but I didn't actually realize I cussed that much until you brought it up. And now I'm like, catch myself going, oh, I hear myself in my head going, don't say that because I'll want to drop an F-bomb or, my favorite word happens to be everybody else's like least favorite word, which is the MF word and the C word. They're two of my favorite words.
Mm. Yeah, I saw a video the other day and somebody asked, I think it was John Cena. It's like, what is your favorite British slang word? And he's like,
the C word.
Oh, yes.
I was like, well, that's not really slang. Whatever. It was hilarious.
It is funny because every part of the world has different meanings for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it seems to be that way because either that or it's just like it's just a cultural excuse maybe for some people.
Yeah. I don't remember if it was an Australian person or a British person, but they were talking about the word fanny and how it's completely different from what Americans actually use the term fanny for.
Mm-hmm.
In America, fanny is a butt, but in either British or Australia, I don't remember, the fanny is the front part. So
getting familiar with the franny.
Yeah.
I believe that's British.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, well, it's interesting because see, my squirrel is starting to be contagious on you. So we're gonna rewind a second here. So then I'm gonna say thank you. That to you, it just sounds like, hey, this is something different to do, something to try, because us spending time together is, I don't know, normal because we've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
And so I had explained to people that for the last almost year, we've both actually been looking for other opportunities in the normal world. And we just haven't found anything.
Yeah.
And, it's a very, I don't want to get too much into what a depressing factor it is, because we're having a good day. We're not having a day where we're sitting at home in the corner crying. We're having a day where we're up, we're being functional. I mean, shit. I told you how much I got done yesterday, which is like a miracle in and of itself on a day where I'm actually at home all day.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I was telling them that this is alternative for us and we're going to give this a try. We're the ones investing in it, not just our time, but our own finances in it, which is a bit of a struggle. So for me, I'm going to say thank you that you want to take the journey with me.
Yep.
You're
welcome.
Oh my God.
I shall allow it.
You know what's funny is there's a part of me that wants to be like, oh, don't be like that. And then I hear myself saying that, and I'm just like, you knew this motherfucker was like this for 15 years.
You know it was going to happen.
You know what Dagda means, right? You know all of his, I know your gamer tag. I know your other tag. I know enough of your history. I know all that. So I don't know why. I am not trying to stifle the king. I'm just not going to. Or the God. Is it the God of Kings that Dagda was?
It's the good God.
The good God. Now, having said that, we need to get you another moniker to go in front of Dagda that would mean like, or after Dagda, where it would be just like the good God not. But we can't call you not Dagda unless we did it in a sense where we did a play on words like nautical Dagda. Get it? Nautical.
Naughty Dagda.
Well, it's just like, I'm going to have a squirrel. Squirrel?
Yep.
Dang it. I wasn't going to bring up the other, your gamer tag. You can tell people if you want.
Yeah.
But your other one, your secret squirrel one, I wasn't even thinking about that, but now I am going, oh, we really should. Oh, no. But anyways.
That'll be for the After Dark podcast.
So thank you for getting me back on track. That's kind of where I was going. So we'd actually had a conversation earlier today, not on mic, not mic'd up, not recorded, and not because I don't want to share things with other people, because it literally was, for me, it's a bit of an emotional thing, because it's a very scary journey for everybody, no matter what you're doing, whether it's starting your own business in construction, starting your own business in design, whatever business you're doing. Is very scary if you're investing in yourself, because you have to have that confidence. You have to. And I don't, just because of my personal issues from prior life and childhood, I don't have that where I'm just like confident 24/7. But when I'm confident, you've actually seen me at the shop when I was single and I was confident. My wife beat her down to here, hair up to there, banging. Right. But anyways, so it's a very scary leap. But we didn't hold this conversation off mic, off camera, however you want to say it, because we were hiding anything. It just randomly happened because, again, I'm an emotional creature from everything. And I was discussing this weekend that I actually had one of my favorite people over at the house, introducing him to the now home office area because I was implementing his help with some stuff. And his name is Bogey. I'm not sure what he's going to go by here, but I call him Bogue or Bogey most of the time. And he has decided to come be part of this when he can. And we were discussing the idea of everyday life that I have. And it's not just one thing. It is the two primary things, actually three primary things, is everyday life, conversation over coffee. So conversations over coffee should just be like the normal day-to-day shit like we talk about because we have the most random eclectic, right?
Yeah.
And then I made a joke because of our prior work experience where we met each other and everything that we should have a branch of this umbrella that's after dark, which I'm really excited because everybody seems to be on board with that. Like even my partner's just like, I think that's a good idea, which, he doesn't agree with me about shit. So I'm like, but you know why he agrees. I don't want him to do his little joke when we're doing after dark.
Yeah.
Because that is.
I definitely don't need to be seeing that.
Yeah. 100.
Not interested.
Exactly. But, the after dark portion is not just because of what we did, but the stories we can tell about what we did.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the brilliance of it is that we have our own name for our old customers from time to time. So we got those two sides. And then we talked about something that you have a very big personal interest in, which is, why don't you explain a little bit about that?
I mean, the hypnosis stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've thought about doing that for a long time. I thought about doing like a YouTube channel where I do hypnosis. In particular, they're called hypnotic gifts. Mm-hmm. So they're like brief and like 5 or 10 minutes only. And it's a series of like positive experiences that you can use to fall back on when you're having troubles or whatever.
Yeah.
And like ones to help you go to sleep, all kinds of stuff like that. So yeah, thinking about doing that. Been thinking about it for a long time.
Yeah.
I just haven't done it. Also, hypnosis is a weird thing where there's like a lot of interest in it, but probably less than what you would think. And so there's less money in it than what you would think. Even most hypnotherapists, which I am not. I know hypnosis, but I'm not a therapist. Make that clear. Even most hypnotherapists who do it professionally don't. Most of them are only like part-time.
Right.
Because they don't, well, for one thing, generating enough people to come in is not necessarily a skill set that you're actually taught when you're learning hypnosis.
Yeah.
It's a different thing running a business than doing the thing that the business does. And so most people don't know how to run a business, so they have problems when it comes to that. But yeah, and I've talked to several people who are in the hypnosis community about this, and they're like, yeah, it's really hard to make a living doing stuff as a hypnotist.
I mean, it sounds like, so it's my interpretation of what I'm hearing is very much that there's two things. One, it's probably not as popular as you would think it would be because of what we've seen maybe in mainstream television and movies. Oh, if you ever get hypnotized, you're going to cluck like a chicken every time a bell dings. So you have that, which is not exactly how it works. I know, I understand that.
Yeah.
And then you have the other side where if you're going to be in hypnosis, you kind of have to look at it in a dual way. It's not going to be about making money. It's going to be about helping yourself and possibly helping others. Because if it's something you're practicing and you enjoy anyways, there's nothing wrong with having like, a little side income by doing something to reaffirm to yourself your hypnosis practices. Yeah. And being like, hey, this is an FYE ideology. This is just, FYE. I'm not a licensed therapist. This is just for your entertainment and for your thought process, having all your disclaimers. But it might be a really good way to kind of get it out there and help people who I mean, for all I know, you hypnotized me when I quit smoking because I saw you right after I had surgery. So for all I know, you did that, but you promised me you'd never would.
No. It's funny, especially when I was effectively training a lot with hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
I went out of my way because sometimes I would have the urge to say certain things in a certain way that would be hypnotic in nature. I went out of my way to not do that.
Yeah.
Almost to the point where at one point I was like, holy shit, I actually lost skill because I've quashed the urge to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to say this. When somebody is telling me something, I'm like, this would help in this situation, and I don't do it. Yeah, so.
And it's interesting because we were talking years ago. So you're going to find out this throughout the program, throughout the podcasts. I used to smoke for a very long time. We're not going to say how long, but a very long time. Now, shut the fuck up. You've known me for 15 years, and I've only not smoked for coming up on 6 months of that.
I was going to say, yeah, it's less than a year.
Yeah. It's less than 6 months. August.
You're doing good still, so.
I know. I mean, and how many times in all of that have I said, I want a fucking cigarette right now? 3 times. I mean, we understand. Now, I can't go into detail on it. We were just in a situation helping a friend out who was very, they'd had an unfortunate incident happen and they were highly agitatable. And I got the brunt of that being the chauffeur. And so it is what it is. It's past history. It doesn't matter now. The thing about it was I still didn't smoke. I still didn't have a cigarette. I literally the last time, which was where we had the restaurant incident, and I was like, I seriously want to go pick up that emergency cigarette and have a fucking drag. I'm not even kidding. I mean, I'm pretty sure in that conversation, every other word was the F word out of my mouth or MF out of my mouth because I was so mad. But that day after I dropped everybody off, I went home and I cleaned it out of my car and I checked and made sure there was no other extras because that was the other times I'd actually touched it and I was just like, okay, I'm okay. I don't need it. I've got cigarettes at home if I want it. But that day, like even after I dropped you off, I picked it up and I almost lit it. And I was just like, I don't want to die. I don't need to die. I have too much shit going on. And I literally, as soon as I pulled into my back parking spot, threw it in the garbage, got rid of it that day.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've always wondered if he's kind of hypnotized me because it really has been. It's so funny. It's just been too easy.
I mean, so even with like your traditional talk therapy, what will generally happen is you'll talk about it for years, and then something will just click and you'll be like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then from then on, you just stop, whatever it is. If it's drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, once you make the congruent decision to stop a behavior, that's when you change. You can talk about it for years. It's when you make the congruent decision, and it has to be, that's completely on you, right? Yeah. Nobody else can make that decision for you. Nobody can put you at that point in your life where you're like, this, I'm just done with this.
Yeah.
And so that's why a lot of times when people try to quit smoking or try to quit drinking or watching porn or whatever it happens to be that is their sort of go-to quote unquote drug, their drug of choice, they'll fail a bunch of times. It's because they're not at the point where they're like, okay, absolutely not. I'm just completely done. Like talking to Chuck about smoking. He's like, no, fuck that. I'm just going to die of cancer. I don't care.
He does not care. He's got to smoke, 3 packs a day?
Something like that.
I mean, I don't think I've seen him for more than 5 minutes at a time without a cigarette in his mouth.
And almost every time I've seen him without a cigarette, it was either because he was inside the store or at his mom's house. Those were the only times. At his own house, he smoked. In the car, constantly smoking. Yeah. He probably smoked less at his house than what he did in the vehicle.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is constantly smoking in the vehicle.
But I get that because he used to obviously for the shop, he used to travel a lot back and forth across the state. And then of course, as soon as he had his shoulder surgery, you and I started making the trips across the state more often.
Yeah.
And then we had issues with over there. And so I totally get that in the vehicle, there is this chain smoke thing that happen because it's a long drive from one side to the other of our state.
Yeah.
Especially if he's not an early morning person. Him and his wife are not early morning people.
Yeah.
I am. I learned very quickly after that first trip that took us 5 fucking hours following him to get over there because we had to stop here for a break and we had to stop there, which was all lovely and fancy and wonderful. But it's like, I've always been that person. And I think you actually are too, where it's like, if I've got a fucking job to do, shut the fuck up. Let's get there. Let's do the job. Then we can enjoy.
Yeah.
And Chuck, I love the fact that Chuck, being the age that he is, I think that's how he used to be. And then I think once there unfortunately started to be some like family tragedies, I think that changed for him. Like, fuck that. I'm going to enjoy the moments when I want to.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But anyways, I understand because I would smoke. Well, I got my time down to about 2.5 hours over there. Angel smiles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Which is the fastest I ever made it over there was 90 minutes, 96 minutes to be exact.
Wow.
That was, my partner was over there and he always texted me before he went to work when he lived over there. And he actually woke me up one morning and I'm like, how are you doing? He's like, I'm not doing well at all. This is happening because he used to work basically overnights for a extrusion company or whatever.
Okay.
That's what you call it. Anyways, and he would text me, and he texted me one morning on his break, and it was like it was between 5 and 5:30. He had a break. It was on his like 15-minute break, and I'm like, how's your day going? And this is when we were just friends and, fooling around when we saw each other. So this is before we
acquaintances.
So yeah, so what he texted to me was really interesting, and it kind of sticks out in my mind. He's like, I'm not having a good day. There's this motherfucker over here making me want to fucking get a prison ride. And I'm just like, what is going on? And this was actually in March of 2016. And he was just like, I don't know. He was just like, it'd be a lot easier if you were here. And I was like, well, I'm coming this weekend. Well, I know you're going to be here tomorrow, but it's just, I'm having a rough day. It'd be nice to see you. I was in my vehicle by 5:32 a.m. I pulled up outside of his job at 7:07 a.m. So what's that? An hour and 35 minutes, maybe? 95, 96 minutes? Yeah, it was like between 7:07 and 7:10. And the look on his face when he came out to his car, and I was actually parked right by him, he was just like, because his lunch was from 7 to 7:30, and he would always warm up his leftover pizza. So I knew he wasn't going to be out right away. Yeah. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is, it's a long drive and it's very monotonous. And so I get the smoking more in your car.
Yeah.
And I think with Chuck, it was, I don't know. He smokes a lot.
Yeah.
He was a very angry man during his shoulder surgery. Like, give me more drugs so I don't have to feel this. Like, I'm actually surprised they actually gave him shoulder surgery because he did cheat a little bit in his 2 weeks of no smoking leading up to it.
Yeah. I don't know.
But so anyways, back to hypnosis. And back to what I was originally talking about. Welcome to the shit show, y'all. This is how my squirrel syndrome works. It varies off and then circles back around. Sometimes in the same conversation, sometimes 8 conversations later. Like, oh, hey, Dag, do you remember that one time we were talking about this? So this is what it's a fucking horrible thing to be in my brain at times, but whatever. Anyways, so we're talking about this umbrella of things. And it was finally funny because Bo actually got it. Because there's actually, I cannot talk about it on air right now. Something that Bo and I might do together, which I actually thought you and I could do together. Possibly. We'll see.
No.
No, I don't want to be part of that shit show.
I don't want to have anything to do with Bo.
Right?
Just kidding.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what. He went on a little 2-minute rant wait, why is he going by Dagda instead of beep? And I went, because it's his gamer tag. But you decided you don't have to go by your name. I was like,
I can do what I want. She can do what she wants. So there.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. I should have said, mind your business, young man. Ha ha. But I didn't. So that's the whole idea that I have for everyday life, because we are actually a lot of creative people. And I know a lot of creative people. I actually know some people who are like actors and would probably love to do little skits or whatever. And that's fine and dandy. I know people who like to write, like to do poetry, like to do spoken poetry. I know a lot of different people who like to do a lot of different little things. And so that's something that just came to my brain is it would be awesome for everybody to have somewhere they can go and put their stuff, not just, I started a YouTube channel and I got this one poem I want to read. No, have it where you can go into a wheelhouse of everybody else and be like, these are my friends, these are my family, these are the people who are supporting me, and I got it in locked. Because I'm not going to be that one that's going to let anybody see negative comments. That's something I will keep hidden for myself. Like, hate all you want, like, hate, subscribe, do what you got to do, whatever, right? But as far as I'm not going to be the one to go up to Julia Jones or whoever and be like, okay, so your epic spoken word rap battle didn't work. Nobody likes it. I'm be like, did you like it? That's how I feel about things. Did you like it? Did it make you happy? Does it make you happy? So anyways, so that's kind of the whole thing is, so like I said, Bogus at the house, he kind of got this idea. And I think that the hypnotic gifts would be a good idea to put it out there because I don't know if they have to be videos or if you can do just audios only, but I think it's a good perspective to put out there to people because I think some people are very curious about hypnosis.
Yeah. Well, the reason I had originally thought of doing it on YouTube was not because I was interested in making videos. Right. It's because, for one thing, when people are typically interacting with YouTube content, they're in their home watching a video.
Yeah.
So they're not driving cars, stuff like that. I mean, you can, because you can just listen to it or whatever. But when it comes to hypnosis, you need to not be doing stuff like that.
You need to make sure that you're at a place where you can pay attention and not be distracted or get distracted and cause secondary incidents.
Yeah, and most likely not using something, not using a device or a tool that can hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Because you will tend to drift off and not be hyper aware of what's going on in your environment. Mm-hmm. Not that you will be completely removed, but it's kind of like if you are slightly tipsy as far as your awareness of normal stuff happening. Yeah. So you'll be slightly off from your optimum, basically.
Yeah.
And so, the kind of standard disclosure on, like, if you listen to a hypnosis audio track is not to be operating any motor vehicles and blah, blah, blah. Basically, you want to be sitting down. You don't have to, but it's best if you're sitting down in a calm, safe place when you're doing this. That way, the chances of anything bad happening externally are very small.
Yeah. Well, and, so it sounds like what you want to put together is great relaxation, there's another word I'm thinking of, but my brain's not working lately. But like, it sounds like you have a great idea of how to put together a series of either videos or audios where it can actually help people, like, especially high-strung people like moi, and high-stress people like moi, like, hey, this is a way you can refocus, and this is a way, 5, 10, 15-minute videos or whatever. So, like, if they were having a bad work day, they could literally go out to their car, they could watch a video and be like, okay, here's how we're going to decompress. But don't be operating anything.
Yeah.
Because I understand what you're talking about. I've done that where I've listened to, like, oh my God, this is totally dating me. But when they first came out with audio books, several years ago, they used to be on cassettes. And and I still remember I was listening to the heck is it? It was a Stephen King book, and I think it might have been like Dragon Eye or something like that. Anyways, and I remember hearing this voice, and it was just so melodic and enchanting, and I just wanted to listen to what he was saying. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a desire to drive my car forward or back. I just wanted to. I literally got into that like almost trance state where I was just like, how the hell I made it home that night? I don't know. But I get what you're saying because it's so easy to slip in that. I mean, certain people's voices will do that.
Yeah.
My voice does that to some people, which is really funny when I go from being me to like the intro. Once we get to it, it'll be, what would it be? Hang on. This is Everyday Life and welcome to After Dark. So I know how to modulate down or up. It's, most of the time you can understand what I'm saying pretty clearly because we had this discussion the other day. I've learned through my life to project. Working at the shop, you had to fucking project if you were going to make sure your voice was heard 100 feet away.
I didn't have that problem, but
well,
I'm also not a tiny woman.
Well, I'm not don't be talking about my height like that, okay? I can see over the counter. I can see over the steering wheel. We don't talk about how tall I am. He's not calling me a tiny woman as in, I'm little teacup. Well, maybe kind of the short and stout thing. But anyways, so that's kind of shit. We're running out of the time we get today for this one. But so it does make me happy that you are on board. So one of the things as we get towards wrapping it up for the day, or at least for this conversation, because, you have to take breaks. You can't talk all the time, right?
Do you really?
I talk all the time. I never take breaks. That's the problem. That's why I don't sleep properly. That's why I don't sleep much. It's why.
How can you sleep even?
Like, isn't it the Ramones that sang that song?
I want to be sedated.
No. Who sang Talking in Your Sleep? Is that not Ramones?
No. So.
Well, whoever those guy wears, I hear the secrets that you keep.
Yeah, that's not the Ramones.
Yeah, that's not. Damn it, now I want to get rid of that. But anyways, I know it's not the Ramones, and I knew it as soon as I said it wasn't the Ramones. Anyways, yeah, if I recorded anything, you'd probably hear a lot of things. I don't know. It's not as bad as it used to be. With my ex-boyfriend, I used to talk very much in my sleep, a little too much, and he didn't appreciate that, I don't think. But that's okay. Now,
it does make it hard to sleep.
I still love him. I appreciate him as a human. I think he's a great husband and father to his kids. I think he's awesome, and I'm so proud of him. So anyways, now I don't remember. Yes, I do. Okay. So the point was, one of the things is actually for anybody who gets interested in doing any type of podcasting, digital media, social media, anything like that, check out your local library and see what they have in store that may or may not help you. Here in our city, our local library has a memory lab, which we work in quite often. Mm-hmm. It has a digital media lab. They've also got like 3D printer and woodcut printers for people to use. And it's really at little or no cost at all to you. We are very fortunate. There is a person who works here in the digital media lab. His name is Mr. John. And he has just his pointers, his tips, seriously has made a lot of things a lot easier. We came in the other day and we rolled our intro and outro for him. Did we do both?
Yeah.
Yeah, we rolled the intro and outro for him. And, I actually went home and cried about it. I'm not going to lie. I actually cried a little bit because the minute it's like, you can tell because he was a teacher for music teacher for like many, many, many years. And you can always tell when something hits right because the way he was focused, he was leaning in. And I don't know if you watched it because you were on the controls of playing it for him, but I got to see it because I was back behind you guys. Mm-hmm. And I actually got to see it where all of a sudden his body lifted up and his head lifted up and his jaw dropped and he looked at you and he looked at me. He's like, that's you, isn't it? And I was like, yeah. Seeing that joy from him was just so I cried about it. I cried when I even told my partner about it because it's you don't realize that you need validation at times until you get it. And then you're like, it's like this big weight's off your shoulder. Like, oh God, I totally needed that because we've had some setbacks getting this going. We've both had some medical stuff that has just kind of derailed the progress and the pace we want to be at.
Yeah.
And that's okay because you're doing much better. I'm getting better, like all that stuff. But anyways, my point is for anybody interested in possibly doing anything like this, do your research and then check out your library system because for us, we were able to do a digital lab class that really kind of gave us an introduction because I'd done all this research and we kind of hit this point where it was just like, And so Dagda actually found this class and he was just like, hey, do you want to go do this? And I'm like, yeah. So we went and did this class. It's made the learning curve easier. And then having Mr. John, who I will every time and every opportunity I see to him, I say hello to him. I will send him a million thanks every time I get, because his input has just made it a smooth transition. He couldn't find fault with what we'd recorded and how you had put the recordings together and everything.
Yeah.
Which is a wonderful thing, because it is difficult to make sure you're being heard. And I think that's an important thing for people, is to feel like they're being heard.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everybody wants that validation, which for me, validation is, I try to give it as much as I can. I try to express to you or Bogey or my partner, like, I'm super proud. Not because it's required of me. People need to understand that validation is not required to give or receive. Mm-hmm. It's just a nicety. I just know that, especially in the last probably like year, just with everything that's gone on, I've kind of struggled with remembering to properly express my appreciation. So it's something I've been working on as far as that. So even though it's not a requirement, it actually is really nice to know that you are being heard by somebody and you're being validated by somebody. And I think that Mr. John has definitely, like, if you look at anybody as a guidance counselor or a teacher, I think he definitely like just hit that stride where it was just like, okay, as far as I'm concerned, he has like that ear.
Yeah.
We talked about that. He just has that ear. And to have somebody who has that ear be like, where's your episodes at? Ooh, are you published yet? I mean, like, that was just like, whoa, he thinks that we've progressed enough that it's like, it's time to publish. Yeah. I mean, I'm personally not quite ready for that. We have a couple of things to kind of take care of. So we'll just keep recording and get it all organized before we head, into that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm proud of you.
I know. I'm proud of me too. I'm awesome. Thank you.
We rarely get through a day without you or somebody we know or somebody we see just being like, oh, Dagda's totally awesome.
I know. I'm amazing.
You're going to force my inner child to come out and mock you a little bit, right?
Yeah, whatever.
I know you're used to it by now.
I'm so good. Even mockery doesn't affect me.
Awesome, golden child.
Indeed. Oh. It'll say that on my tombstone.
Is you're going to outlive us all?
Oh, yeah. I will make my own tombstone, and then I'll just sit down and die next to it. That's what's going to happen.
Like, you're going to go sit every day you go to bed. You're like, yeah, maybe I'll go lay in my grave now.
That'll be after everybody else on the planet is dead, though.
Right. You're going to wait until that big cosmic, asteroid or whatever, that big, you're going to wait, and you're going to just sit there in front of your grave and be like, I'm awesome, and let the collision happen.
And then I'll just get bounced off the planet and be floating around out in space.
Can you imagine? What is Tony Stark say in that movie? There's, oh God, no, bad Dagda, no, because I'm thinking of like 8 things at once, but there is no superheroes coming to save us. There is possibly another race coming to, another alien race coming to kill us.
Yeah.
I mean, although, I've said this before, I'm pretty sure they've done a drive-by of our planet, saw how stupid we can be at times, and they were just like, yeah, fuck that. That's not going to sit well in my digestive system.
Yeah.
And one thing we're going to practice working on is projecting Dagda. And I think it might just be a matter of turning your microphone a little bit.
I doubt it.
Hey, you don't know. Because you actually have it pointed away from you.
Well, it's not like it can point towards me. So.
Oh my God, it just did. Miracles happen every day. Oh my God. Right. Yeah. But, it's funny. Again, I'm actually happy you're here. It was very nerve-wracking kind of doing basically let me introduce us by myself, because we have such a yin and yang thing that it's just, I feel like that little kid at school sometimes because I mean, obviously when we're talking, I look at you. I don't often just stare off into
Stop looking at me.
oh, you're so creepy. But I look at you because I can see if I'm getting lost on a tangent, a squirrel, whatever. And then I also look for
What are you talking about?
what?
That never happens.
Never. I'm pretty sure it happened like 6 times already today. But so it was very hard for me to do it. And the thing is that I did it without having a cigarette, yay me, and without having a drink. I still haven't drank, and it's been over 6 years. Which is like, I don't know, maybe you hypnotized me on that one too. I don't know.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I know. That's the one thing I would say about you to anybody, because, we used to have, at the shop, we'd have customers hear us talking about it. And there was a customer, his name, we like to call him Mr. Anil.
Yeah.
He said to me one time, he goes, aren't you worried he's fucking with your mind and you just don't remember it? And let me tell you what, if there's anything I can conclusively say about my life, it is 3 primary things I 100% know equivocally from head to toe, through and through. 1, I have the best mommy in the world for me. Yes, I still call her mommy and I make no apologies. That's number 1. Number 2, my partner is the only person I love about as much as my mom, and he's, like the only person I want to be intimate with. So those things I know. And then 3, I've never met a person in my life besides my mother that has the integrity you do, Dagda. And that's allegedly that's saying a lot. I mean, I don't brag about much in life, but when people talk about your influences you get and the people around you, like, I keep my fucking circle small for a reason. I used to have a much bigger circle, and a lot of people out there, I wouldn't say people will take advantage of you, but I think if you're doing things out of kindness because you care about people, I would definitely say that there are some people who take advantage of that. And so it'll come from being, I need a lunch once every while, to I need help with groceries, to, hey, can I hit you for gas money? So I keep my circle fucking small. And you are absolutely the person that I've known in my life that I know is the person with most integrity next to my mom. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about my partner or anybody else in my life. I want to make that really clear for any of my other family friends or whatever, that you guys have to understand, this man has been in my almost daily life for 15 years. That's longer than my first marriage. That is longer than the amount of time I got to spend with some of my grandparents. So that's an impressive thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy because that just kind of like hit me that I actually have known you longer than my grandmother was alive in my life, or just about the same time now. And like my one grandfather, he passed away when I was 8. So it's crazy when you think, like, it just dawned on me, I've known you longer than you knew your mom.
By a lot, like 3 times. But yeah.
That is just a mind fuck when you think about it that way. So anyways, yeah. I'm not taking away from anybody else in my life. I'm not taking away from all the people I love and appreciate and cherish. And all my friends, big shout out to all of my gamer friends, Kiki, Murky, Twisty, like all you guys. And of course, RIP Fat Boy. There are people who are going to know that reference. But my favorite gamer friend, I would never take it away from him either, because he, like, on the list of people I've met with the most integrity in their life, Big Papa Poke would definitely be. Or, because, certain gaming platforms made him change his name. I'm not going to say what it is. I just call him Papa. I have called him Papa and I've actually known him longer than I've known you.
Yeah.
I have, there's never been a time where in the last 18, 19 years, there's never been a time.
Oh, since 1819?
Way back yonder in 1892. But his name, I don't have permission yet to use his real name, but what I will say is his name is Papa. Big Papa Pope. That's how I talk to him. When I talk to him in real life, I call him Papa. when I went and saw him in his home state on vacation a few years ago. It probably really freaked some people out when we were in a store and I was just like, yeah, that sounds good, Papa. Like people looked at me like it was kind of odd, but
I love it when you come in big, Papa.
What? He has got the deepest voice for his nationality. And I hate to say it that way, but it's like, when somebody's got bass in their voice, you expect some flavored goodness, and nope. I will say this, he does look like one of my favorite actors, which is really great. But like as soon as it dawned on me that the two looked like each other, there went that fantasy out the window. Like, sorry, Kyle Chandler, you are just another Papa. But anyway, yeah, you are definitely the person I think of with the most integrity. You, and then like I said, I wouldn't take anything away from any of my gamer friends. Big shout out to all of them, especially Papa, and especially to his wife, which I feel bad I'm not going to say her name because her gamer tag is her old gamer tag. Oh my. I know that somebody else has that gamer tag now, and I don't want to give a shout out to the wrong person, but it's yeah, anyways, but like her, the crack ass cracker, but especially that's her gamer tag. One of my friends, her gamer tag is crack ass cracker.
Wow.
She's whiter than the underside of my butt in the middle of winter. But, like, I have so many of them say, that's literally his gamer tag, say, and he's on a big life transition journey with his wife, so big thumbs up and congratulations to them.
Is he a type of lava? Is literally a type of lava. Anyway.
That's not what it's a reference to, because it used to be, his gamer tag used to be open up and say, So you have to be of a certain age demographic to kind of understand that. But anyways,
not really.
Right? So anyways, I've scrolled again for like 20 times now, just to say the fact that I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody that I know, anybody that I love, care about, or that's important to me. But top 3 people in my life, and it's nothing against anybody else in my life. It's just the most consistent contact and time I spent. My mom, my partner, and you. And I know you would never, despite what Mr. Annell seemed to think, I know you would never hypnotize me without permission. We talked about it a couple of times, and it's one of those things where, because I have control issues, it's just I can't let go enough. Now, should I have probably a decade ago let you do it to help me quit smoking sooner? Probably. That's kind of an obvious kind of thing. But I know you would not intentionally set out to do that with anybody without permission, because I think you know what it's like to be in that position where you can't change something and you wish you could.
Also, one of my strongest drives is towards freedom, and so I'm profoundly uninterested in controlling other people. Also, I'm profoundly uninterested in the potential negative results of doing manipulative tactics on people.
Right.
And also, and this has been a problem, I'm profoundly uninterested in thinking for other people. Because, like, I had some people that I was doing hypnosis with, and they were so into hypnosis that they basically wanted to be more or less permanently in a state where other people were controlling them. And I was like, that is fucking...
Are these one of the people that you went and spent the weekend with practicing?
No, it was somebody else, but it was around that same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. They're like, but it would be fun. I'm like, maybe for you, I fucking don't want to have to do all your thinking for you.
Right? Yeah, I don't think that would be fun, because I just watched a movie, and that was one of the things. And this is where hypnotism is probably going to get a really bad name. So I can't even remember the name of the movie right this second. But it's a Jordan Peele movie, and it's and she's a hypnotist, and there's this scene where this guy has been hypnotized, and like literally and I imagine when you're talking about this individual and they're desire to be permanently hypnotized. It being like that, because he just sinks down onto like the floor or the couch or whatever, sinks on the floor, and he looks up and it's just like this little window and he's watching everything go on around him. So yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, I mean, like the movie Office Space, I love and hate that movie.
That's my favorite.
Yes. Yeah, okay, that would be great now. The reason I hate it is because the basic premise of the movie is that the main character gets hypnotized, and while he's being hypnotized, after he's brought into trance, the hypnotist dies of a heart attack.
Yeah.
And so the rest of the movie, he's effectively supposed to be hypnotized still.
Yeah.
That's not the way that shit works, not even close.
Yeah.
If nothing else, he would have gone into trance, stayed in there for maybe a few minutes, maybe an hour, if it was really cool to him to be in that state, and then he would have effectively just woken up like normal, or somebody would have interrupted him, like slapped him or something like that, jostled him around a little bit, even he would probably just come out.
Yeah, to that point in the movie where Jennifer Aniston actually, I think she does slap him. Somebody slaps him. I'm pretty sure that'd probably be a point where no matter what, he wouldn't be hypnotized anymore.
Yeah, you come out of it because it's not like your brain gets shut off. It doesn't. It's not even close. It's just that your quote unquote critical factor gets bypassed. And this happens all the time actually, but people don't realize it.
Yeah.
The critical factor is the part of you that says, this isn't real, or this is real. This is a good thing. That's a bad thing.
Yeah.
The part of your brain that does that is arguably the most important part about intelligence.
Yeah.
Is that part. It's kind of like a bouncer, because it's like somebody says an idea to you and you're like, that's fucking stupid. That's your critical factor doing that.
Right.
So when you're in a trance, your critical factor is bypassed, so that when somebody says, okay, you're eating an apple, when they actually just handed you a lemon and you're eating it and you think it tastes like an apple and you have no reaction to it, your critical factor has been bypassed. And so now you actually believe that that's an apple when it is in fact an orange or lemon that you're eating. So yeah, that's kind of the main thing that's going on. It's not the only thing that's going on.
Right.
It kind of vivifies your imagination. And so you can enhance your senses, you can decrease your senses, you can be feeling pain and it can damp it down so that you're not feeling pain, instead you're just feeling pressure or warmth or something like that. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. Yeah.
Well, and you know, I truly believe there's a spot for that underneath the umbrella for what we do. And I would love to see us work towards that. I mean, right now we have to make sure our primary focus is on conversations over coffee.
Yeah, you have to have the core.
Because I want people to, the thing about it is I want everybody to truly understand that what you see on the outside isn't always reflective of everything that's on the inside. I have never met anybody in my life, never, where it's just like they're humorous all the time, or they're serious all the time. They're kind of a mixture of everything, like different percentages, like whatever. Like I am 100%, you are 100% smart ass all the time. But we actually have our intellect in there. No, we just rolled it.
Fake news. Breathe, woman.
I know. And fuck, here we are with the time tapping. Okay, listen. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad everybody else is here. And again, shout outs to all of my gamer friends that have always shown me like love and support over the years. But, you know, like seriously, Twisty, Kiki, Murky, Mr. V, everybody, thank you guys. But most importantly, thank you to my big Papa Poke and my family, and all of that. And of course, here in real life, in daily life, I have a big, huge shout out to our local public library system. It's a great resource for people to come and do things that they need to do. And of course, Mr. John for some good guidance.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. John.
And what about you, Dagda? Anybody else you want to shout out to other than the asshole? Anybody else you want to shout out to?
Oh, Oh, myself, yes. Thank you, Dagda. You're awesome.
By the way, this is not a joke. He actually says that quite often. He will tell you if you say, "Oh, that's a good one. That's awesome." He'll say, "I know.
I know.
I know. I'm awesome."
Unironically.
So yeah. Anyways,
Why are you so full of yourself? Please.
I don't know. Christ almighty. So anyways, if you haven't yet, make sure you do like, follow, subscribe, all of that good stuff. You're going to hear that warning again here in just a moment because I think it's time for the outro. Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. Till next time, y'all. Oh, wait. So I actually went to my favorite website and looked it up, and it was the Romantics, not the Ramones, that sang Talking in Your Sleep.
Nice.
Right? So anyways, guys, officially, we'll talk to you next time. Have a great day.
Later.
Bye. Okay, everybody, that's all the time we have for today. So I want to thank you for stopping by to enjoy the conversation. We're glad you're here, and please share and share again and share some more. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We'll be having another chat and another cup soon. We'll talk to you then. Look forward to seeing you.